time, we meet a couple who love to party.
Why are you there, Phil?
But there's no time for relaxing.
Original features.
Steady on.
Pantry.
And it's got to be south-facing. Oh, come on! Oops.
Luckily, the professionals are on hand to help.
Could you bring me a sherry, love?
Shut up.
Today we're heading to the East Midlands and the historic shoemaking town of Rushden.
Northamptonshire's lovely.
Northamptonshire's where my grandmother came through from, and my father spent much of his childhood in Northamptonshire.
Known for shoes and boot making around here, isn't it?
Boot making, yeah.
Huge.
I wonder why.
Well, it's probably because your family lived here and kept them in business.
Careful, you'd be amazed what I can do with a good boot.
Just down the road, a difference of opinion has music lovers John and Susan out of sync.
The house, for me, doesn't work. It will get listed and we will be moving in the short term.
Oh, OK. Like that, is it? OK. I love the house. Just look at it. I think that says it all. What's not to love?
Together with son Jake and daughter Lulu, they've lived in their unique three-storey character home for 4 years.
It's got lots of rooms. It's got a lot of the original features, which I love. There's a history to it.
It's too close to the main road, so you can hear the traffic. It's got too many quirky parts.
John's fed up of lots of boxy little rooms and is dreaming of one big sociable space.
If you took the roof off this house and looked at it from an overview, from the top looking down, it's like Lulu's put it together from a Lego set. It's got, like, little pockets everywhere.
But John does see some positives with the property.
We've done quite a lot of work to the place.
Yeah, you've got a lovely staircase, which I love. Plenty of bedroom space, but downstairs doesn't work.
I like it. I like it's quirky, it's different. I've not seen anything like it. I look at the house and I still sometimes can't believe that this is my home.
While Susan's making no secret of her feelings either. It's causing John to live a double life.
Susan can't be persuaded. She won't even come out and view anything with me. So I generally sneak off and I do little viewings myself. I try and show her stuff, she just doesn't want to see it.
With 4 children between them, it's a busy house.
I've got 2 older children and I have got 20-year-old son, Jake, who does live here. And then we've got Lulu, surprise.
Yeah.
She's 9.
Yeah.
And Barnabas, the mutt.
Leave it.
And that's just on a school night. With 40 extended family members between them, this sociable family are known to have the odd visitor.
How are you? I've got
2 brothers and a sister. And there's children there as well.
There's children everywhere, so we've got loads of nieces, great nieces.
We're like a country.
We're like the United Colours of Benetton.
John wants a house that can deal with their large gatherings, as well as day-to-day family life.
I want a nice hub so you can talk, eat, chat, homework, do all the bits in one area. And I don't feel this house has got it.
I do understand that we do need some sort of hub, but the kids are getting older. There's going to be us and Lulu, so...
But we still have friends and entertain.
I didn't buy my house for friends.
Right. As far as I'm concerned, if Phil can find me a house with what I want, I'm off tomorrow. Ta-ta.
On your own.
I hope it doesn't come to that, but John will take a lot of persuading to stay.
I think the whole back of the house would have to open up completely and view out into the garden. If Kirstie can do that, then she's Wonder Woman.
Well, I hope you have your cape and lycra at the ready, because you've got a tricky task on your hands, Kirstles.
I'm never one to shy away from a challenge, Phil. Bring it on.
You're on their lawn.
Stunning-looking house.
It was a sunny-looking lawn.
Oh, verging on funny, Kirstie.
It's got a lovely old bell.
3 stories. Hello.
Good morning. Hi, I'm Phil.
Susan, nice to meet you.
Hello, Susan.
Hey, Susan, nice to meet you.
You want to come in? Love to.
Yeah.
It's my challenge to find a creative solution to John and Susan's property troubles.
Whilst I'll be aiming to show them that the grass is greener, should they decide to move.
Well, who wants to love? Who wants to list this gorgeous-looking house?
I want to list it.
And I just absolutely love it.
OK. How long have you been here? It's not that long, is it?
4 years.
Yeah.
And what motivated the purchase originally?
Me. Driving past, seeing it regularly, just loved the house. And as soon as it was up for sale, just jumped on the chance, really.
I mean, it has got a lot of character and you can really see that it's very special.
And, John, you now don't wish to live here any longer.
Well,
What I don't like is the noise of the traffic and the disjointedness of the whole downstairs. Dining room's here, and then you've got to go through the hallway, through the snug, to get to the kitchen, so everyone seems to be in separate parts of the house.
And your thoughts on the roads?
I just think the house, it's got a story to tell because of the age of it, and I just think that's the
Yeah, but it
beauty
takes
of
you ages to tell the story because you've got to come from over there, come all the way through.
It's not a small family.
No, we haven't got a small family.
And you are a friendly family and you like to gather.
Very close, love entertaining, love getting together. You know,
And this tends to be where
This
it
is the hub.
happens.
Yeah, it tends to happen here.
Right.
You know, we need an area where we can cook and entertain and socialise at the same space.
I feel I need to apologise to the house that's listening to this.
You really do love it, don't you?
I do.
Yes,
I do, yeah.
It'll be a challenge to create a large family hub, but I'm determined to cherish the character of this stunning house as much as Susan does. Though you'll need a miracle to top this beautiful home.
Don't count your chickens just yet. Northamptonshire certainly doesn't lack character homes. And John is adamant that listing is the only way to go.
The way that we live has evolved from when this house was laid out. And I can see the issues. It doesn't really suit family life today, but a crying shame to muck around too much with it.
The simplest solution
Yeah.
seems to be to get rid of this wall,
Yeah.
to create a really fantastic dining area in here.
It's a shame not to be able to see the garden.
Yes, it is a shame not to be able to see the garden, but I don't think Susan's going to want to get rid of all of this original stuff. I'm starting to see past the lovely decor to the root of the layout problem. It is higgledy-piggledy, and I'm struggling to get my head around it. We set up our cameras to capture how the family use the house. On an average weekday evening, John and Susan spend around 60% of their time in the kitchen, whilst Lulu spends the same amount of time alone in the living room. And that figure is even higher in the morning, with Susan spending 88% of her time in the kitchen, whilst Lulu goes between the living room and her bedroom. Proof that a family hub is just what's needed to bring them back together. I would knock off that and put more glass in there.
Yes.
You could do that for the budget. It is a lovely house, but it would have stood alone in much, much more garden.
I'm going to have a squiz round upstairs.
I'm not going to look upstairs. I don't even want to be distracted by it.
Throwing in the towel already?
Not a chance, Phil. I owe it to Susan and the house to find a sympathetic solution, especially when you consider that moving costs are around £8,500 and stamp duty is £15,000, money which could be better spent bringing the family together.
True. But even when you subtract the costs, my listed budget of 500 grand will go a long way to finding them a character home with a better downstairs layout.
Good luck convincing Susan, because I've just had a brainwave. That might be the answer to a lot of my problems.
The rooms are all massive, but the road is very noisy. Ooh. That's a proper old servant's bell. See if Kirstie rings me back.
Oh, for God's sake, look.
Could you bring me a sherry, love?
Shut up.
Double quick. You could have a lot of fun with one of those, couldn't you?
In his dreams.
Oh. What have you done?
I've disabled it.
Give me my bell back.
No, sorry.
I haven't got my sherry yet. It's a very lovely house. And I'd certainly have my work cut out competing with it. Having said that, Kirstie's really got her work cut out trying to solve their issues with the budget that they've got. I don't see it myself.
Well, let me open your eyes, Phil. This is a tricky one, no doubt, but with a love-it budget of up to £55,000 and a bit of creative thinking, I will find a solution. I love your house.
I love your house.
I love what you've done with it. I love the house.
You're not supposed to be saying that, Phil.
I love the original features. I think it's absolutely brilliant, and I can totally see that it doesn't work.
Oh, see?
I think that what this house really needs is an interesting combination which respects the original features and creates something new.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, thank you.
Game on.
Can you give me the headlines of what I should be looking for then? What's going to do it for you?
Definitely character property
Yeah.
with history, original features,
Oh, steady on.
pantry.
Play fair. Play fair.
Got to be detached. I think something very close to this. Ish, maybe.
She's not playing fair at all.
No.
5 bedrooms.
It's got to be similar size.
Don't laugh.
Yeah. And an ensuite.
But off a busy road.
The garden as well.
And it's got to be south facing.
Oh, come on.
Hope you like a challenge, Phil.
Well, we're both in the trenches a little bit there because he very much wants to leave and there is no way that she's leaving.
I think I've got a plan in my mind. I'm really nervous about presenting it because I think what they want is something and
Which
actually...
won't suit the house.
No.
I'm thinking Phil's already got something up his sleeve, so I think I'm in the driving seat at the moment.
See, I'm the opposite. I think Kirstie knows what she's doing, but I think she's already got her game plan.
Do you think so?
Definitely.
It's going to be tough. It's tough for us both, this one. You usually get it easy, but...
I think you'll find I make it look easy, Phil.
After about a year of actually living here, it became apparent that it didn't work. Lovely house, but just too many quirks in it.
You know I love this house. I love everything about it. It's quirky, it's got the rooms, it's got the space.
It doesn't
We can
work.
overlook. We
It
can
doesn't work.
overlook.
It doesn't work.
In Rushden, John and Susan's higgledy-piggledy 1920s home is full of charm.
That's a proper old servant's bell.
Sharp.
But for a family that loves to host big gatherings, the cramped, disjointed layout just isn't up to the job.
Which is why, with a budget of up to £55,000, I'm going to transform the downstairs of this house.
Whilst I'm going to find a home with my budget of 500 grand that already has all the entertaining space they need. And away from the busy road that John hates.
When I first met John and Susan, it was clear this was going to be a tricky one. Not only was I going to have to convince Susan to leave her characterful home, they also gave me a pretty extensive wish list for houses to find them. First things first, I need to pin down what's really important and, of course, where the compromises might be.
You've got a lovely characterful home, but it's got its issues, hasn't it? And Kirstie can't move the road.
No, that's one thing she can't do.
Yeah, but you knew
She's
the road
good,
was
but
there
she's
in the
not a
first
magician.
place, didn't you? You knew the road was there in the first place, so obviously isn't that much of a problem.
I know.
You're just using it as an obstacle.
Time out, folks, time out. Okay. Let's just have a recap what we've got to concentrate on today.
Yeah.
It's got to be the same size type house. Has to be. Yeah.
Proper entertaining space
Yes.
Definitely.
and some character.
Has to have
Yeah.
character.
Just 2 miles from their current home in the neighbouring town of Higham, Ferrers. Tucked away on a quiet residential street, I've found a stunning Victorian detached house. It has all the period features and elegant charm they could possibly desire.
Ta-da! Ah, nice.
It's okay.
I thought...
No, it's a pretty house. I'm not going to say it's not a pretty house.
Well, this is
Still-
drive.
Yeah, but it's still not my house.
No, give me a chance. Be nice. It is
Yeah,
a
yeah.
handsome house.
No, listen, the house is lovely, but let's see what's on offer then.
Ooh, is that Susan sounding nervous? Because she should be. This house is even more lovely on the inside. Under budget at 450 grand. It has 4 bedrooms, 1 with an ensuite. Whilst on the ground floor, there's a beautiful sitting room, a family-sized dining kitchen, bigger than their one at home, plus a large dining room.
Come on in. To
That
what
floor.
is a very grand hallway.
I love the floor.
Floor's lovely, yeah.
Floor's stunning.
Yeah. But this is the first of 2 reception rooms, but it's in beautiful condition. And
I love the original pieces.
They've
Doors.
retained
Yeah.
a lot of the
Yeah.
character. It's
Yeah,
priced
nice.
at 450,
Okay.
fairly fresh to the market. I can imagine it'll be popular because of its character and condition.
They've done really well,
Everything
I
in,
must
yeah.
say. They've
It's the
done really
little
well.
touches, though, isn't it? Like the radiators and things like that.
The elegant dining room is as large as the one at home, but the difference here is that it's next to the kitchen, which is much bigger.
It's a lovely kitchen.
is lovely.
It's a lovely range cooker. It's a real lovely kitchen. but it's still the same issue where the dining room is.
Yeah, it's not together. It's got to be one space.
Yeah. You could open it up, but there is a chimney in here.
Right, OK.
Yeah.
It is an improvement on what you have.
Yeah.
Yes, because the walk is only...
Yeah, it's just there.
It's just there.
You could actually speak to people, but you can't see them.
Yeah.
No, you can't. So you'd have the same thing when the kids would be in one room and we'd be in another.
Except that in this kitchen, there's room for family dining and a table for Lulu to do her homework. So it is more of a sociable hub. It also looks out onto the garden, something that John has always wanted back at home.
That part of it I like.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice and light, because obviously it's got a huge window there.
I mean, it's beautiful. I just don't think it's the right layout for what we wanted.
The kitchen and entertaining space might be better connected here, but it's still not big enough. It's clear now that an open, sociable layout is just as important as character. It's a shame, as this attractive house is lovely outside too.
So the garden wraps around, and lovely fruit trees.
Yes.
Really lovely fruit trees.
It is, isn't it? It is
Something
very
for me to pick up.
country garden. I think I'm blown away by the fact that it is beautiful, but I think the reality is if I lived in here, I'd be in the same situation. There's no hub for all of us. There's a hub for us, and we'd be again us in the kitchen, Lulu in another room.
It
just doesn't work for us as a family.
Okay. Yeah, it's a shame, really, because it is lovely.
Don't worry, let's move on.
Okay. That's one for Susan.
And one for me too. Never mind, Phil.
He's got the character right, tick.
Yeah.
I still think Phil will find something. He always does. He pulls something out of the bag. This is just a little amuse-bouche.
I think after seeing this, I think he's got his work cut out even more so now.
Poor Phil, I hate to gloat. Back at base, I'm sure there's a way to create the bigger kitchen and entertaining space they want. But a big extension might not be the only answer.
If you did that to this house, you'd be in danger of wrecking its originality.
My dilemma is how much I can get John to fall in love with this house by giving him a big, sociable kitchen without removing all the character and unique old features that Susan loves. So before I get my sledgehammer out, I've got two very different plans to put to them. The first involves some small internal tweaks.
It's 12 foot. It's 12 foot across. It's not a narrow kitchen. If that accessed the garden, you got rid of this, it could be a fantastic kitchen.
And then, to give John the big, open, social space he's longing for, I've got quite a radical but exciting plan for the rather lovely and currently underused garage.
In here, you put a party barn, a huge, long table, little kitchenette at the end, somewhere where you could really have those big, convivial family meals that are so important to them. But how they'll react to that plan, who knows?
Good luck selling that idea to John.
What I've got here is plan A and plan B. Plan A is not what I think you were expecting, which is why I've got plan B in case you cry when you see it.
Okay.
Plan A creates a much bigger kitchen diner by knocking through one wall into the snug. To keep the original character and quirky chimney at the back, doors would open up from this space sideways to give John the access he wants to the garden. The old dining room becomes an extra chill-out room for Susan and John to enjoy their huge music collection. Then, as part of Plan A, my solution for larger gatherings of friends and family, which they won't be expecting.
Your existing garage turned into a party barn, which seats 20 with a kitchenette and a seating area, which opens out into the garden, which is for winter and for summer, and which, when you don't have 20 people over here, you just close the doors on it.
So the house is ours, that's for guests.
That's
yes.
I've never actually thought of in the slightest.
It's like having a village hall in your garden.
I love the idea of that, and I think it's a real cool idea. But the view here, I still...
You want to be down the garden. The problem is, in order to really look down the garden, you have to knock all of this down.
Which leads me to Plan B, a much bigger kitchen living space, looking straight down the garden. created by knocking into the old utility and loo, demolishing the old boot room and placing a window there instead. Then opening up the space sideways into an extension over the patio and knocking through into the living room, creating one enormous open-plan area.
I really like this.
Yes.
Susan's still sold on Plan A and the party barn.
You're happy with this, aren't you?
Completely, yeah.
Well, they both like my plan, just not the same one. That's the danger of giving options to a couple who can't agree.
You need time, John, don't you?
I do need time. It's totally put a spin on what I thought could actually happen, because I didn't ever incorporate the outside.
Oh, it's working. She's worked her magic.
Not yet, because we haven't seen the finished product yet.
I'm dead impressed with John's response. I wasn't expecting that. And if this pans out, it may be my favourite ever project. If it pans out.
I think you're going to need that magic wand of yours, Kirstie.
After leaving them to mull it over, as much as they loved the party barn idea, they decided against it. John couldn't give up his dream of a big open-plan kitchen living space within the house. So, 3 months later, they've started building an extension similar to my Plan B.
We've had the foundations, floors laid, 80% of the brickwork's up, and the roof's going up hopefully today.
Susan's determination to give John what he wants in order for him to stay means the back of the house is changing dramatically.
The part that comes next, I think, is going to be the tough one, when the walls start going down.
Yeah, when the walls start going down.
But the party barn has not been completely forgotten.
Never say never, because obviously...
It could happen.
Watch this space.
If
on
we're
that
still
one.
here.
Yeah.
And that's a big if, especially considering the fantastic home I've got up my sleeve to show them for my second house. Taking on board how much they both love character but want a lot more space, I've got an absolute cracker lined up.
We're going to something now that has got loads of character.
OK.
It's a converted old pub.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, really, really interesting.
Very nice.
I always wanted to live in a pub. I always say that to
You did, didn't you? You always say that, didn't you? You just someone did the shifts.
I wanted to run downstairs and get my cheese and onion crisps.
You can, yeah. Normally laid on.
They're normally nice buildings as well, aren't they? Old pubs.
Yeah, they're generally a good size, aren't they?
Well, this one certainly is. Just a mile down the road from home, in a quiet part of Rushden, and pushing the top of their budget at 500 grand, this old converted Victorian pub is worth the financial stretch. It comes with bucket loads of history and the quirky character that Susan loves. But most importantly,
It's absolutely huge.
It looks
It's
messy.
beautiful, though.
But you need a bit of imagination, a bit of thought as to how you use it, simply because it's so big.
I'm intrigued to see what's behind the doors.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be some character.
well, there's an incredible 428 square metres of floor space to start with, including 5 big double bedrooms, a spacious dining kitchen with access onto the garden, and a sitting room that's already got the perfect setup for the parties and big family get-togethers that they love to host.
Come on in to the pub.
Oh, my God.
All right, it's a proper...
It's got a bar in it. You like having people around. You'd have some fun in it.
Why are you there, Phil?
Don't tempt me.
Yeah, I like the space. But look, you've got your crisps. There you go.
Ready salted?
No, it's got to be cheese and onion, Phil.
It's a childhood dream.
It's your childhood dream.
This is not the main living room.
Okay.
OK.
Interesting.
And in fact, it's not even the party room.
Okay.
All right. OK.
This is just, do come in, take your coat off, would you like a drink?
It's actually got its very own party barn next door in the vast former function room.
Wow, this is massive.
What a spectacular kitchen, living,
Oh, God, you
dining
could do
room.
some. You can do wonders with this, couldn't you?
Yeah,
So much
you
with
can.
it. Do you know?
It's a blank canvas, isn't it?
If you wanted to get everybody round in one space,
Oh.
you're never going to get a bigger room than this.
So you can hire it out for weddings.
So you see what I mean by a bit of imagination required and a bit of money to be spent.
Of
Yeah.
course, yeah.
However, it's been on the market for a year,
Right.
and they're asking something in the region of 500,000.
But it's been in the market for a year.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's room to
Definitely.
to negotiate,
Yeah.
and we like a deal.
Whilst creating the kitchen diner of their dreams here, they could happily live with the current one.
To get this right, you would have to spend a hell of a load of money.
Yeah, but I think it's, for me, it would be the one I think for me is a bit of a showstopper. And I think if you had the money,
It is,
it
but I think...
would be something that there's so much potential. I think there's so much potential.
The space is fantastic.
And the potential extends outside to an old barn and double garage that come with the property.
It's lovely. And it's definitely got space, hasn't it?
There's 5 bedrooms. I mean, they're vast. Go on, you explore. I think it's slightly thrown them, which I'm not surprised at. It's a lot to take on board, but they are having a think about it. It does tick a few boxes.
And the upstairs is just as spacious. Every one of the bedrooms is enormous.
Oh, wow, it's huge.
Oh, it's massive.
No.
Really good height.
Yeah. Oh, this is a master bedroom.
Oh, yeah, it's master bedroom. Again, massive.
Yeah, the size is great.
How are you getting on?
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
They're massive, isn't it?
Yeah, the rooms are
Absolutely
huge.
huge. It's a huge gaff.
It's certainly a massive property.
Thought-provoking?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
I find it quite vast, though, for a single dwelling.
But it's unique. I like that. I like the fact it's unique.
It doesn't work with what I would want.
At least I'm making you think.
Yeah.
I'm making you... These are good discussions to have.
Yeah,
I think it's something I'd look at, yeah, definitely.
Definitely scope for thought.
OK. Come on, then.
Thank you.
With Susan surprisingly falling for this place more than John, could she be starting to crack?
I didn't think that Phil would find a house that was bigger than what we'd asked for.
Yeah, but I think this is just too left field. It's too big a project.
Nice try, Phil, and a great find, but even taking them to a pub won't convince these guys to list.
I love the fact that it's quirky, there's a room there, there's a room there, there's a room there. I love that. John apparently doesn't like that anymore.
Kirstie's got her work cut out. I know she's good, but I don't know if she's got that magic wand to do what I want her to do.
In Rushden, Kirstie and her fairy dust are trying to convince John that his higgledy-piggledy house can become one open-plan space he'll never want to leave.
Meanwhile, Phil's job is no easier, as he's got to find another house that matches the charm and size of the beautiful home that Susan loves. And John will love once I've finished with it, even if it takes a huge extension to convince him. As always, I'm suitably shod for a building site. Now, oh, blimey. They've got cracking. Wow. The build is creating an enormous amount of space, but I just hope they're not sacrificing too much of the character that Susan adores. Meanwhile, the garage has been left as a dumping ground.
Still stand by what I said. It would make a great party barn. But you never know. They might give it a go still. This is going to be costing them quite a bit of money. But what it mustn't be is just a lump at the side of the house. They've got to change the flow of the house significantly to utilise this new space efficiently. God, sometimes I sound like I know what I'm talking about.
Yes, that's a surprise to me too.
Knocking through into the kitchen and lounge will make one vast open area, which could dominate the downstairs. So it's even more important that the old dining room at the front remains the separate snug that I suggested.
So what is going to happen in this room?
Well, this is going to be our music room, come cocktail lounge, if I get my way. If I get my way.
It's lovely that it's got the wood burner.
Yeah.
Yep.
You need a drinks cabinet, don't
Yeah.
you?
A couple of nice chairs.
Yeah, just a nice,
exactly.
Nice loungy type chairs.
Yeah.
I'm loving their cocktail lounge vibe, and this house has the space and grandeur to carry it off. The best inspiration for this kind of look is to copy the style found in some of the swankiest hotels and bars, but also combining it with the personal touch that a home needs. To visualise how their front room could look, with a splash of boutique cool, we're off to a furniture warehouse, where I can offer them tips to creating hotel chic at home. Wow. The finest boutique hotels ooze romance and elegance, with decor usually much bolder than you dare do at home. Keep roughly to the same period when choosing furniture, whether that's an Art Deco vibe or 60s retro feel. But think creatively.
Don't be put off because this is the bedroom section. If you're looking for stuff for the sitting room, don't be dictated to. You know, a side table and a bedside table, there's not much difference if you ask me. What's the desk? What's the dressing table?
Also be adventurous with textures. Think lush, rich velvets, leather, glass and metal. Plus sometimes...
Haven't we all got a place in our life for a jewelled grasshopper?
It's nice to buy a striking conversation piece just for originality. For a classy look, though, choose items that sit on legs rather than rest on the floor, and if you find a piece of standout furniture that you love, work the colour scheme and the rest of the room around it.
See that colour? I love that colour.
That, yeah. No, I like that.
No, but I like this blue.
OK.
Emulating this look is all about being brave, particularly with colour. So try using hues like inky blues, rich greens, purples, but also partner bright shades with furniture that's more neutral, like charcoal grey.
I like that.
That's really nice.
I like that.
I like the big chairs. These
There's
are
two of them,
lovely.
there's a set.
These, I really like these.
If a shop allows, then setting up furniture in situ makes it easier to imagine how pieces work together in a room.
It's lovely, isn't it?
This one.
Yes.
I just think it gives that splash of colour as well. She's got the grey chairs.
You know what you've got to do is take it to the chairs.
Yeah?
Yep. Yeah, go on, John. Show
See
us
what
you
you
can do
can
it. Don't smash anything on the
Don't
way.
embarrass me.
Yeah, don't break anything.
You should have gone first.
Oops.
I don't know them.
Oh, here they are. Ooh.
So if we move that...
You see, if you've got everything's sort of one,
Yeah.
and then you've got that.
So if we move
And it looks good with the yellow cushions even.
Picking out similar colours and creating a cohesive theme will bring the whole look together.
Imagine, for example, actually, that was
quite
your
nice as well.
bar.
That's quite nice.
Then you could have the chairs. I mean,
pretty
That's
cool.
nice.
it's pretty cool. Oh, bingo. Oh, we've done it.
Sorted.
See you later. Bye.
I'm really confident with Team Love It. The fact that anything that I'm saying that I like, he also likes.
Only a few days ago, Susan and John went out house hunting with Mr. Spencer. I don't know if it's just me, but I didn't hear any mention of a different house today. Phil obviously hasn't been doing his job properly.
If he wasn't veering towards what I want,
If you've
You
noticed that
wouldn't
all
be
the
looking at
pieces
it.
that I'm talking about are all movable.
but
There's
those...
nothing fixed. There's nothing fixed. All the pieces that I look at can actually just be taken and put into the new place.
What was that about no mention of other houses? John's far from one over, and I've not even played my full hand yet. The third house I've lined up is a knockout, and those chairs will fit just perfectly.
2 houses in. Any changes in mindset?
I think for me, I'm more curious now because the second one was a real unexpected, almost curveball, if you like. What you've done is sort of tweaked my interest a little bit because...
Those kind of things do
Yeah,
exist.
it's there, yeah.
Good. Team listed.
Can you hear that, Kirstie? Sounds like your chances are dwindling. With a wish list of size, character and open plan, finding period properties with modern living spaces hasn't been easy. So my next house does involve a degree of compromise. But 6 miles away from Rushden, in the nearby town of Findon, this 5-bed house is an absolute stunner.
Thinking back to the pub that I showed you, that had the size and it had some character, but it was too much of a project.
Yeah.
Yeah. This has the condition and it has the size, but it probably lacks some character.
OK.
So we're trying to find the right balance, the right bit of the jigsaw.
OK.
OK. We'll see.
You'd better hope the inside impresses Susan more, as I'm not feeling worried just yet.
Ah, but in budget at $500,000, the unassuming front of this 1970s detached house belies a beautiful and spacious home. With 5 huge bedrooms, 2 of them with ensuite and 1 with a dressing room, a large living room, utility and an extra games or chill-out room. But for a couple who love to throw parties, it's the truly palatial kitchen, dining, living space that really sets this house apart and makes it perfect for entertaining, which is what both Susan and John really want.
So this room is what it's all about.
Wow. OK.
Oh.
OK.
Yeah.
This has all the bells and whistles, despite having pretty much the biggest kitchen island I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's got 2 dishwashers, it's got 2 ovens, it's got 2 fridges. Your whole family and all of your friends can party in here.
Yeah, lovely. It's a lovely space.
And it's warm.
The space extends outside onto a lovely south-facing terrace for al fresco entertaining, complete with barbecue spot and hot tub, all set in the grounds of a secluded garden.
That's the view that I envisaged, what I like.
But yeah, it's lovely. Really lovely.
Don't say any buts.
It's modern. It doesn't have the character of your house, but it has the space where you need it.
It is lovely. I'm not going to deny that.
I like that space.
Yeah, no, that's lovely.
That is lovely.
I can definitely see the appeal of this one.
So this is a bit of a bonus, because it's a kind of music room, playroom, den. You would absolutely live between these 2 rooms.
It does lack the character, but this is what I think you're close to what we're trying to achieve at home.
Which is a ringing endorsement, if ever I heard one. So Team Listed.
And that's all before they've seen the 5 generous bedrooms upstairs.
I like the way it's got the... Oh, it's ensuite.
Big bedroom.
This is an ensuite, and this is for the daughter, isn't
Oh,
it?
that's lovely.
Yeah.
Susan even seems to be falling for the contemporary style.
I like the way it looks sharp.
And it's a good size as well.
Yeah.
You've shown us 3 different types of properties.
Yeah. Yeah, completely different.
But even though this is not the character that I would have liked,
Yeah.
you do walk in and you do go, wow, this
Yeah.
is, it's definitely got the potential.
This has got a wow factor, but in a different way.
In my opinion, this offers you what you need rather than what you would like.
But how many pairs of shoes do you have? Because you buy the ones you want rather than just have the ones that you need.
I give up. I give up, Tom.
That's what I'm going to put up with.
You've got to live with that.
And I've got to live with you, Phil.
I think it's a lovely space. I think it's got everything that I've really asked for, by the character.
But I've got that at home, and I'm still convinced we're going to achieve what we want in the home, and so we'll have everything.
Oh, I can't see that, but we'll see.
I've done my best. I've shown them what the market can offer them right now, and I reckon I've made them think. They are still pretty entrenched in their respective positions about whether to love or list their home, but I reckon I just saw a chink in Susan's armour.
Dream on, Phil, because back at home, any doubts will be blown away after I've helped give them all the space they want in their already character-filled home.
So,
Back in Rushden, eh?
back in Rushden. How did your house hunting go?
So I'm happy with where it went, but it did show them a really amazing pub where they could, they're quite a party family.
They are a
They
big
like to
party
socialise
family.
a lot, and this pub could have been
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Really.
Actually, similar to me. I'm happy with the way things have gone. It looks super smart.
Yeah. Did you manage to retain the character? Because they so loved the character of the house.
well-
I was worried you start knocking things around and you damage that.
Were you indeed?
Yep, I bet you were up all night, Phil. Well, you needn't have worried your pretty little head, as John and Susan have pulled off a spectacular transformation.
Though it's a pity that the house is still on a busy, noisy road that John hates.
You haven't extended it so big out the back they can't hear us, have you?
Sorry. Sorry, I didn't hear you there.
Prepare yourself, Phil. I'm confident you won't have shown them anything to compete with what we've achieved here.
What have you done? What have you done?
Previously, the downstairs, albeit brimming with character, was divided into boxy rooms and corridors, making it awkward for family gatherings and cramped for parties. The higgledy-piggledy rabbit warren of rooms was driving everyone apart and John to distraction. Now, Now they have one huge, stunning, open-plan, sociable space that flows straight out into the garden. Here, everyone can cook, dine and relax in one fabulous area. It's perfect for spending time as a family, but also ideal for the really big get-togethers that this couple love to host.
Ooh. You've created the hub that you talked about, and this is a very cool room.
Yeah.
Thank you, you little Faith.
It works.
It's amazing. It looks sensational. Phil was being quite rude in the car. He was saying that the house had a lot of the original features, and he was concerned that I would have lost that.
I was concerned because I knew that you loved the character of the house.
Yeah. It was important.
Was that going to be retained? But actually, this is kind of cool. This is very, very cool.
By incorporating the original rooms and quirky chimney at the back into the build, most of the features that they loved have been kept. New tiles and bricks were matched to the period and style of the original house, and the old windows and glass doors were reused, creating a wonderful space.
Never did I imagine it was going to be as large as that.
I don't think we did initially.
Yeah, I don't think...
It's
I think
enormous.
because it just flows straight through.
It's really big.
It's really big.
No matter where you are, everyone can see each other, and everything's within the same sort of room, but yet you can still have a little bit of separation.
But then when we're entertaining, you can open the whole thing up.
Surely this looks expensive.
Well, Phil, you'd be surprised, as it's all bang on budget. After building and labour costs, their biggest expense was £16,000 spent on the new kitchen and appliances. They repurposed the old island, and with John spending time searching online, they sourced materials like the floor tiles for just £720.
What do you think you did spend on this in the end?
On the budget, around the 54.5. So that's including all the
Appliances, kitchen.
the floor, and the colours, the paint, the lights, the switches, everything.
Totally transformed.
It has.
It's completely transformed.
But it's not just made it bigger, it's made it more usable. I mean, infinitely more usable.
It's a party house.
But when anyone wants to spend quiet time away from this big space, the old dining room at the front is now the perfect cosy retreat. It's an elegant, extra sitting room with a design inspired by the cocktail lounge idea we created together.
It's got a lot of names, this room.
Yeah.
Parlour, music room.
Yeah.
John's chill-out room.
Yeah.
Relaxing room.
Yeah, reading room.
Got the music, got the fire.
In the event of a party, Phil,
It's there.
it runs the whole way through, and it looks super smart. It does look great, because this room was constipated by that table, wasn't it? Do you remember when we first met and we sat in there? It was just like...
The table you wanted to chop down.
No, I did...
Is that how you look when you're constipated? Sorry. Let me just remember that.
It just... Why?
It was overpowering in here.
Once we moved the table out of here, it was quite nice to see the fireplace was actually bigger than we thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a revelation.
Well, talking of revelations, let's just remind ourselves how surprised they both were with some of the houses I showed them.
You certainly set me a tough challenge on the search, but I believe that I was able to demonstrate that all the elements of the brief were available. They weren't all in conjunction at the same time.
It's a tiny violin. I'm playing my tiny violin for you, Phil.
The pub, I know, made you think, because it had the combination of space and character and opportunity, but of course it was a big job.
The pub was amazing, but it was too big a project.
It did show us what could be available, but actually now doing a project and living within the project is definitely something that I think I wouldn't want to do again.
I couldn't do that again.
I feel the moment is at hand, Phil. Are you going to love it?
Or list it.
We're going to...
Love it.
Of course you are. Yeah,
I think there was never any other way.
Oh, come on. I think 2 weeks ago, I was still... Do you know what? I looked around and it was still half done and not finished and everything else. But then 2 days ago, We sat down and had a nice large glass of wine and sat and looked around. I thought, yeah, it's what we wanted.
It's the right decision. I think you've solved the issues that you had with the house, John. They're not here anymore. Well done.
Thank you.
Chin chin.
Chin chin.
Chin chin.
Here's to big meals in this lovely big kitchen.
It's exactly, I think, more than what we wanted, really, and it works for everybody.
It's given what I wanted, whereas I thought we couldn't have it, hence why I wanted to list it. Now, it's got everything that we want. I'll say this, and I say this once only. Susan was right.
Again?
Here we go.
Thank you very much.
I don't know why I'm smiling. I mean, bought the drinks. But...
Come on.
Yeah, no, it's a good result. It's the right result. You've done a terrific job. Well done.
I believe it's 2-2 now. There was a scary moment there where you were ahead of me.
Yeah, 2-2. All to play for. Don't you go getting overly confident. Got my best tricks to come.
I'm about a foot higher than you at the moment, and I intend to stay that way.
Next time, there's some underhand tactics.
Play fair.
Did I have to play fair? No one ever said I had to play fair.
As we do whatever it takes.
Would you mind sitting down on the floor?
To get the job done.
You were being creative, weren't you?